Welcome everybody to Time Flux Build Team's review of the theaznminer, and today we got his wonderful park here that I'd like to go over. Straight off the bat, you can kind of already tell this park's a little bit more different than you've probably seen from a majority of parks on this game, mostly because of the aspect of the terrain he has going on over here. As you can tell, it's not normal terrain, it's a little bit of primitives, and you even look down, you're able to make some of these different shapes you can't normally make with the regular terrain editor. And just right off the bat, that's just kind of something I really loved about this park, and it's just something that it just made me choose this one for this next showcase that we have here today. And it's just a very unique aspect, but that's just one thing. There's tons of things in this park we're gonna be looking at, tons of rides. You got tons of views here, really neat. A lot of roller coasters of different colors. Really pops out when you look at it. Kind of have creative ways of having path down here. As you can tell, we have a little bit of invisible path that they're walking on. Kind of creative aspects here and there. But just overall, we're going to be looking at this park. Going to be looking at some of the creative features he has here. Some of the great architecture he has. So just, again, just very creative. We're going to be going ahead and diving in this thing real quick here. So stay tuned. Alright, coming here into Tropication. Really nice name for this park, actually. Got nice little booths here. Make sure they're walking through both sides. That looks pretty neat. But I have been seeing this park. Been slowly worked on over the past few months. He has been spending a lot of time on this, and as you can tell, it's really paid off. You got some really nice designs here with the architecture of some of these wooden buildings. Looks really realistic, and actually really realistic in some of these cases. Even have like your actual bathrooms, I think, right here. Yeah, you have like your showers and whatnot. Looks pretty neat. A lot of tiny little detailed aspects here. But as we kind of walk through some of these areas, you'll kind of see his attention to detail when it comes to just functionality. If you kind of look at the park itself, you kind of have your nice little flowing pathways here. Goes all the way around, goes all the way to the back. I haven't really visited much of this yet. This is actually, the back part's really new to me. I have not really seen this at all. I've only seen really the front portion. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to get here is that it has a really nice flow all the way to the back, as you can see. Comes all the way back around, across a few bridges. And just the park itself just has a great way of just introducing you to different rides. And it's not just one straight line or blocked off little areas. It flows. And it's one of the great things to have in a park is being able to flow everything. And I think, what's this ride called? Twister. Man, check this one out. I don't think I remember this one that well, but this one does look pretty neat. So we're going to go ahead and wait in line here and check it out here in a second. Alright, here we are. Let's check it out. Overall, Twister actually seemed like a really nice coaster, but if I had to say anything about this, I'd probably say a little bit on the transitions. The timing was just a tad bit off. It could have been just a little bit faster, but you know, with our game passes and limitations, we can't always get everything just right. But overall, it's still a really nice coaster. But let's go ahead and move on over here. Oh, love these buildings. Makes it feel cozy. Makes it feel like I'm in Pirates of the Caribbean, kind of. All these wooden little buildings here by the water. Alright, let's go check it back here. And even the path differentiates between levels. Makes it seem really natural. Ooh, and you got a little cave section here. Let's check this out. Oh, that's cool. Got like a little seating area. It's just the kind of picture he puts in for making this feel like a real park is really neat, because it's not just very straightforward. You really don't know what you're going to be coming into, and I really like this creative aspect of just how he works his terrain and how he just makes all the sights just in every location just seem so realistic and so interesting, really. But going into this ride, this one's called Rapids, so we're going to check this one out after we get some NPC in here to... Oh, here he is. Alright, let's go ahead and check this out real quick. Oh, I like that little waterfall cave. Big old ducky. Oh, there's two of them. Sweet. Nice little scenic right here. Got nice views all the way around, I will say. Oh, tiny little falls here and there. Drop out into the water. Even got the nice little wooden supports underneath it. I like that. It's not free floating. Really don't like when some of these rides are free floating. But no, he's taking a took good precautions for that. It's a nice gentle little river rapids ride. I still think it's pretty nice. Yeah, didn't really have too much drops, but yet again, it's a river ride rapid. Doesn't have to be too insane. Just has to be, that one's a little gentle, and it's still alright. A little nice little ride. But let's go ahead and start walking up here. Got a couple stalls. I will say, if I had to do anything with this park, I would say color these with a little bit of theme. These are just kind of just the basic little colors for the little stalls. That's all I could really add. It could have been on purpose, couldn't have been, but a little color in zones sometimes works really well in some of these parks. Is really having the same theme and colors makes everything kind of a bit put together. So you got little food courts here and there, bathrooms. Let's see where this leads to. Is this, oh, Tropic Thunder. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for this ride real quick, so why don't you hold on while we wait in line here. Alright, here we are, Tropic Thunder. Let's see how this one goes. Not too bad. Tropic Thunder had a little bit of some issues here up on the start. You can kind of see the spine in the track kind of immediately split after the launch. Kind of want to be able to gradually transition that a little bit. Could have been a little bit faster. Again, I don't know what game passes they may or may not have, but even without game passes, you can still work some of these tiny little kinks here. But probably a little bit faster. If I had to say, yeah, it was kind of short, but in the end, it's still a really nice ride. Not too bad, not too shabby. Doesn't really need that much editing, but still really nice to ride. Not too bad. Heading over here, let's see what else we got. You can kind of see some of the structure in some of these rides over here still. Let's see. Hovering Cloud. Check this one. Oh, this is just a ride. My bad. This one's a carnival ride. But in any manner, let's check out the rest here. But again, going over, really love to emphasize how well he's done the terrain here. It's one of my favorite aspects about this park, I'd have to say, is he gives a really different look for terrain, being able to overhang a little bit and having that grass on top with the stone underneath kind of look, it's really unique. It's probably the only reason that really brought it to my eye really quickly. But again, some of these rides and a lot of the decor and the details he puts in almost everything is still really amazing and makes it just come all together. There's a lot of food stalls here to attract all the guests, get you towards the rides. See if I can find another ride somewhere over here. Ooh, got a pirate ship ride down here. Wow, this actually looks pretty neat. You even got a little beach volleyball. That's pretty neat. And again, with the invisible paths, really nice touch, so people can actually like cross the sand without having to deal with any sort of weird path designs or anything. It's just invisible. You just use your image paths that are invisible. But let's see if you can find the ride here. I think that one's for... Actually, I think this might be for... Oh, the Deathwing. Alright, let's check this one out. Alright, hold on while we wait in line here, and we'll get going. Alright, here we are, flying coaster. Oops, let's see if we can get the front seat here. Alright. Now, flying coasters are normally pretty tricky to make, because you gotta worry about a different kind of view than you normally do. So let's see how this one pans out. Seems like we're coming in the station here. Yep. Alright. That one's, I wouldn't say, that one's alright. I would say the track was really smooth. I didn't really feel any bumps at all, but the viewing, again, on those kind of roller coasters, the view's really hard to get, because you got to be able to situate the kind of environment around you to enjoy those, because you're always looking straight down, you're not looking forward, so it's kind of hard to get a good view of those rides. But in any sense, it was still really smooth, and I will give it some credit for that. But let's see if we can find ourselves another roller coaster around here between some of these designs. Kind of lost in a little labyrinth here. Sometimes when you make some of these high intricate kind of parks, it's kind of hard because sometimes things get a little bit intricate. If you have a little one paths, like in the main areas you'll have your thick paths that everyone can follow, but when you start getting to those smaller ones, you don't always know which way you're going. And sometimes that could be a downfall, sometimes it really adds to that coziness kind of feeling of the park, but it sometimes can be a setback, so you just gotta be careful with those tiny little things. But why don't we go back and go to the front, and then we'll explore the right side of the park instead of the left side. And that's one thing I did notice here is a little bit of realism here with the water, a little shallow, could make it a little bit deeper just for that effect, but of course all you guys are really going to see is this here, that's all that really matters, but for the most part. But in any part, it's still be nice to have a little bit deeper, just for that attention to detail in every single corner. Let's go ahead and go this way. Alright. I think this was one of the areas that I'd seen him build in the earlier parts of this park. So I do know some of these areas. I could be wrong here. Yeah, little food courts. Nice little touches. Now see, these have a little bit more of a theme here with the colors. I like it a little bit better for the stalls. Tropical Venture. Alright, let's check this one out. Now hold on while we wait for another NPC to join us so we can get this ride going. Alright, here we go. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I see this one was called Tropical Venture. That one actually wasn't too bad. Again, track was really smooth. Again, with some of those types of coasters that kind of alter your view a little bit more than the actual track spine, it is kind of difficult to get that perfect kind of view for these, but it still wasn't too bad. If you actually look inside this, if you actually look inside the actual construction here, you get to see some of the areas where you actually added a little bit of detail with some of the wooden structure. Again, it wasn't everywhere. As you can tell, you have some overhangs with the track here. Not really that realistic, but yet again, not everyone tries to aim for that realistic aspect of these coasters, which is fine because this is a video game. Not all of these things are meant to be real. It's meant to have fun. So again, it was fun. It was a nice little roller coaster, but again, could have some details here and there. Could be a little bit more decorative, kind of things like that, but nothing too major. But as we go along and kind of tell, you can put a little bit more detail even to the bridges, have little supports. It just flows really nicely. You got the nice little color palettes of the lights and browns. And you have your popping colors here and there, these little tents with your food court items. Again, these could be colored a little bit like the one we had up front. But again, it's showing you kind of views all the way around this park. I think it's pretty neat how every little tiny aspect, from the vines to the roads to the lighting to just everything, how it's placed, all the venues, everything really. I've got to say, it's a really creative park. This the theaznminer123's done a really good job here, and I think I missed one more roller coaster towards the front, so we're gonna go ahead and run over there real quick. So let's see, hold tight real quick. All right, here we are. We're down here at Obsidian Rush. We're kind of below the caverns a little bit by that volcano that we were by earlier, and we're gonna go ahead and check this one out because this one looks pretty neat. I think this one was that black coaster I saw over there. Yeah, here it is. So we're gonna go ahead and wait in line, and we'll see how this ride pans out. Alright, here we are. Let's get Obsidian Rush going. Not too bad. I actually probably say that's one of the better coasters I've seen in this park so far. Has a lot better timing, speed is a little bit better, but again, it's not always perfect. Not any of these are, but I would say the one thing I would fix about this is just be a tiny bit faster and maybe slow down just a little bit before the inversions that we had, because they did go a little bit fast, but yet again, even someone like me or anyone else could make those decisions in a roller coaster and it still happened. I mean, it happens to a lot of us. It's not that bad. It's still a really lovely coaster. I wouldn't really discredit it that much, but again, if I had to fix anything, it'd probably be those. Let's see if we can find his way out here real quick. I'm gonna check out the other coaster I actually missed towards the front. I think. Oh wait, no, I did ride that one. That was the blue one. Yeah, that one's actually the first one we rode. But in any sense, just looking around, all the views that you see, all the little details that we have in every single corner through these rides. Could probably fix this little scenery here, because sometimes you even got to look at your rides, not only how they look themselves, but how you look themselves, like when you're riding in the seat, but if you were to walk through it themselves. That's another good thing I'd probably recommend for anybody, is when you make your coasters or make your rides, walk through it without sitting in it. Because again, it's also going to look different from every point of view, so you got to make sure every single aspect is going to be covered in all these. So make sure it looks nice in every corner, make sure everything's detailed, and he's done a pretty good job about that. I don't have too many complaints about this park. It's one of my favorites, I gotta say. And if I had to say actually anything for improvement, I just say just to add a bit of detail. But overall, I will say this park is really fantastic. It's got a nice little addition to all the little carnival rides in every single corner. Lovely roller coasters, not too bad track rides, and some great detail. But again, the theaznminer123's done a great job here, so make sure you guys thank him for showing off the park today, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching. So thank you very much. This is Time Flux signing out.